Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Terry Morrow and I'm here with Catherine Haleko. Say hi, Catherine.
Hi, Terry.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Catherine and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week we watched the West Wing episode Faith-Based Initiative, and I watched certain parts of it many, many times. But first, our one day at a time watch continues with the episode Nip It in the Bud, the 5th episode of season 3. And it was about as standard issue a sitcom episode as you can possibly have. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Exactly.
This is the blank...
This is the one where...
This is the one where
the teenage kid tries to smoke pot, or does smoke pot.
Yes.
Or vapes it. And that's what brings it up into the 21st century.
So cool. So up to date. And the mom freaks out. Has there ever been, I'm trying to think if there's ever been there must have been a sitcom somewhere, someplace where the mom doesn't freak out but says, hey, can I have some? Somebody's done that, right?
They should. I could see that on Family Ties or something.
That's right. Or they would want to take it. They would take it from the kid, and then you would see them later smoking it.
Right, secretly.
But a 100% standard issue generic sitcom episode, well done, well acted, cutely personalized for this particular ensemble. I continue to be freaked out that kid is so tall and low voiced, but puberty. Tip a hat to puberty. I wonder about that festival he went to, though, because didn't it look like it was at some little league field in town, like tiny little thing of bleachers? And where was this exactly?
I know, and AstroTurf.
That didn't look like a TV set at all.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta think the actual thing was a little more expansive, but
right.
And even in his Where's Waldo t-shirt, you would not necessarily be able to find your kid if he was smart. But it was okay. And
he also would have taken off the shirt as soon
immediately
as he left the house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No self-respecting kid who's trying to sneak behavior on his mom is going to wear that shirt.
Right.
But, okay. This could have been a script from the original One Day at a Time. And it would have been Julie. Mm-hmm. And,
yep.
Bonnie Franklin would have freaked out adorably, and it would have been just fine.
Yeah.
Though Schneider would never have worn those overalls. No how. No way. Man had a little self-respect.
Right. And I don't think the grandma would have eaten marijuana edible.
You could just see that train coming on down the track.
Right.
But one thing I liked about this episode, and I think this is possibly the first episode of this season that I can say this about, is it referred back to the previous episodes. There was mention of her boyfriend, Mateo.
Yeah.
The thing about the lozenges was planted in the previous episode when Schneider and the doctor were talking. So Schneider was describing was able to describe those lozenges as we were seeing the effect. We knew when she took it out of his pocket what it was going to be. Right. Isn't that nice? This isn't one you could just drop in on. You actually required knowledge from a previous episode. Awesome.
Right. Although you probably wouldn't. You could still.
Yes, my daughter didn't remember.
Given the standard sitcom situation, you could follow, but it was nice that
the thing with the lozenges did help if you remembered.
Yes.
But I guess Schneider spelled it out anyway. You might have wondered how he had gotten that information. But still, it's nice to know that these aren't just going to be self-contained things floating out of time, but might occasionally, connect in certain
to one another, yeah.
Yeah, so once it became clear where that was going, I really kind of hated it because... so easy.
Mm-hmm.
But, sitcom-y, but I enjoy sitcoms. So it was a perfectly fine episode that I could multitask during. Mm-hmm. And, okay.
Exactly.
Damning with faint praise am I. But one thing I did go head over heels stupidly over was this episode of The West Wing that we watched called Faith-Based Initiative, and I'm even forgiving it the fact that it should have a hyphen in faith-based and does not when it shows on the screen.
Yeah.
It's hard for a copy editor to get over that sort of thing, but what follows that grammatical incorrectness on the screen is a scene between Matt Santos, who we have met briefly before, and Helen Santos, his wife, who we have never met, that just struck me as so adorable and so wonderful that I watched it over and over again. I cannot tell you why, but it's just one of those subtexty relationship scenes that The West Wing does really well when it wants to. And even though we have not met these people before, we've not seen them together, we've not seen her at all, you know that marriage really well within the first few minutes of that scene. I mean, we've already heard that his wife wasn't happy about him being in Congress and that he is sort of at her behest decided to step down. So you know that the idea of him running for president is possibly not going to sit well with her. And, you know, he starts one of these conversations that honestly I've had with my husband where you know your spouse is not going to like what you have already decided to do. And you have to introduce it in a way that there will be no line drawn and there will be no furious refusal. So you just sort of sidle into, hey, you know, I saw that this is going on. You know, you sort of sidle. So he kind of, you know, he starts out by saying, you know, oh yeah, Josh knows I'm not going to go back to the house. And she's looking at him and you know, I mean, as a viewer, you don't have to know that it's Jimmy Smits and his name is in the credits to know that that guy's going to run for president. And so you got to figure that if you were married to him and know him as well as she appears to, you knew when Josh knocked on the door that this guy's going to run for president. So she's also just playing it very cool. I love the way that she never blows up, but you know that she is pissed. And he knows it. And he also knows that he's going to do it anyway. And they do this little dance for about, I don't know what that scene is, maybe 2 minutes, a minute and a half. It's not long. But it's like Jed and Abby 2.0.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, that two people who love each other and know each other really well and do not buy any of each other's crap, but don't, you know, Abby would have chewed his head off a little more, I think. But just, you know, when he says Josh wants me to run for president and she goes,
of the United States?
And follows it with, wow, they really are hard up. I just loved that so much. I loved the interplay between them. I loved the way, this is sort of the equivalent of Vinnick shining his shoes in making you fall in love with people who have never been part of the show before. But now I want to just go watch all the campaign stuff and skip the White House.
Right, get back right back into this.
Helen is, alas, not in a whole bunch of episodes, but whenever she is, it's Terry Polo just does a fantastic job of someone who did not ask for this.
Right.
But, you know, also loves her husband and knows who she married, to quote a line from Hamilton.
Right.
And I just loved it. Also, you know, Jimmy Smits in a gray t-shirt, not hard to look at for however long he wants to slink around.
Washing dishes and carrying small children around. Yeah.
Yes. And I also liked the way she was wearing sort of like normal people clothes. And I liked the way they had her hair in that scene because from here on, it's a lot of buns for her. So this is, you know, as she moves into political life, she can't wear the pretty barrette.
Right.
Just so nice. I just loved it so much, and all the subtext in it and all the history in it and all the looking forward to what this is going to be like. So I then fast forwarded through to find any more episodes about that, of which there was just one when Santos comes and tells Josh, I'm in if you're in, which why would Josh have come and proposed it if he wasn't in? I kind of don't get that. Did Josh come and say, hey, you should have someone run your campaign like this? I think it was pretty clear that Josh was going to do it with him.
Yeah.
Thank you for the suggestion to run for president. I'm going to go get this guy.
Right.
I'm going to see if Bruno's available.
I like your 9-point plan, but there's somebody else with an 11-point plan that I think I'm going to...
Oh, just loved it when he mentioned that and Helen goes, 9 points. Why not 7 points or 3 points? Oh, so wonderful. Anyway, but then I also watched for all the episodes of Josh sort of, finding out the thing about Donna getting the job with Russell and then Josh kind of talking to Will about it and just all that stuff. It's like the subtitle of this could be, blonde ladies and the political animals who let them down.
Right, exactly.
But
I did enjoy how with Donna it was such a callback to when you first met Donna.
Yes.
On the Bartlett campaign.
Right. Yeah.
Showing up in a strange office, like a very temporary space, and kind of jumping in and answering the phone.
Yep. That's what she did in Josh's office too. She walked into the office, he wasn't there, she picked up the phone, and that's how she got the job. And now she's nobody's assistant. She's Josh in that scenario. So yeah, I mean, a big step for her, and that's great, and it keeps her in the orbit of the show. And poor Josh just looks like he looks effectively like he's just got the wind knocked out of him,
right?
Which is probably because he wrote the episode and he was exhausted. But yeah, this is sort of moving on to a new, obviously, literally moving on to a new thing for him because he's going to run a campaign. But I really, really hated the temp secretary. I thought it was stereotypical for a lot of reasons, and just I've been thinking about Josh in this and about Donna leaving and all that, and what I don't think was given, maybe I missed it, but I don't think any credit was ever given. And you know what? Donna was the one who should know this. He gave her more responsibility, and she almost died.
Yeah.
And that is a thing for him. She has explained to other people that is a thing for him.
Right.
That his sister died and his dad died. And and certainly Leo almost dying also has to weigh on him. That he had an opportunity to do something about that and he didn't. This would all directly impact his interest in giving her more responsibility at this time.
Right.
She should understand that. I did that and you almost died. So why would I do that again? He's not going to say that up front, but she's explained this to other people is what I'm saying. Right. She knows this. And I don't think there was ever even just a comment, hey, I know why he's doing this. And that's why I have to proactively do something.
Right.
But instead he gets punished with this temp who doesn't take any of his,
right.
He doesn't humor him the way Donna did.
Right.
And it's supposed to be like a comeuppance to him. But I kind of don't feel like he deserves that. I think that's kind of mean of the show and of whoever made sure that temp got to him.
Right.
I would hide from her as well. So that kind of bothered me. But we're all moving on now, and I know where things go from here. So, but I kind of felt like somebody needed to stick up for Josh just a little bit.
Yeah, I was surprised that he wrote this episode. I guess I did not realize that. So.
Yeah, that was interesting. I didn't realize that either. And I think it's pretty good. As I was fast-forwarding around looking for scenes that I wanted to watch, I wasn't thinking I would like all that was around it, but it was okay. When I finally sat down and watched the entire episode, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
This was the episode which I remembered with delight that tried to get Kristen Chenoweth and Allison Janney in the same shot. I'm not sure they ever try that again. That was thoroughly hilarious. And Kristen Chenoweth did a good job with stuff in this, just as being in this impossible situation and having people ask her to create an impossible statement.
Right.
And just say, okay.
Right.
But it was okay. It worked out well in the end. And the fact that the titular faith space-based space initiative was really a Hoynes manipulation and not... it meant something to the person who did it, but there was a deeper political subtext to it, which made it a little less annoying, I thought. And the continued showing of Bartlett's physical problems is also very affecting.
I know. And where was Curtis? I mean...
He was there, I think, wasn't he?
But like then there were parts where there's some random blonde in the office where it's supposed to be Curtis and Debbie Fitterer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like they did.
Oh, that she's been around though. I think wasn't that I think Nancy is her character's name.
Maybe.
I think she's been around before, and I think that's Martin Sheen's daughter that plays that part.
Oh, okay.
So I guess, Curtis was off eating a pie, and so they
I did not think that was funny. I think that's mean. They said in the podcast how they enjoyed that line, and I did not enjoy it. I think it's mean. It's a cheap, fat joke. Like,
it is.
You're better than that.
Yeah, but she's not fat so much as he's just large.
I know, but I think it was meant to be a fat joke.
Maybe so. Well, Abby's under a lot of pressure. You got to give her a break.
She needs another Xanax.
That's right. She and Helen Santos need to go get drunk somewhere.
Yes.
Oh, well. So we are now heading more and more towards the campaign storylines, and hooray for that, say I. There's some good stuff ahead. But I had to then, after meeting Helen Santos again, I had to then go to season 7 and look at some episodes there that involved the end game of this particular campaign thing. Mm-hmm. And it was wonderful, and I lost part of the day doing it. So this is the thing with you used to have to just go to YouTube and troll around for stuff, but now I can go to Netflix and get the actual episode and watch the whole thing.
Right, that's right there.
That is probably not good. I watched the entire last episode of the series, and it was wonderful. So, and the one before that has some good stuff too. Come on, West Wing Weekly, let's move this along.
Yeah.
All right, no more of these special episodes. I want to watch the good stuff. Anyway, so that was fun. I enjoyed that episode, and parts of it most especially.
Yeah.
So next week, we are going to watch One Day at a Time's 6th episode of the 3rd season, One Valentine's Day at a Time. And we will be watching the West Wing episode Opposition Research, which needs no hyphens and has none. So, excellent. That's going to be it for our Round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terry.
Goodbye, everybody.